Everyone's heard about cancer. I think most of you kind of know what it is, but just quickly. In your body, there are a few tens of billions of cells, and thanks to them, you function the way you do. There are lots of different types of cells, like bone cells, muscle cells, fat cells, blood cells, skin cells, nerve cells, and more. Cells die and multiply really fast. While you've been watching this video, a few million of your cells have already died and been replaced. With such a huge number of cells multiplying in your body in such a short time, it's basically impossible that no mistakes happen, because unfortunately the human body isn't perfect. When an error happens in the DNA of a cell, it doesn't have to mean anything bad. Most of the time, that faulty cell just shuts down, dies, or at least stops multiplying and doesn't harm the body. But if that faulty cell manages to trick the body into giving it a blood supply, can multiply abnormally fast, and ignore the body's signals to stop, then that's cancer. Just to be clear, cancer isn't just one disease. There are about 200 different kinds of cancers. Now you might be thinking, okay, so what then? Well, it depends on a bunch of factors, mainly where the tumor is and how big it is. You might go through surgery where they remove the cancer, or you could get radiation therapy or chemotherapy. Of course, the best way to deal with all this unpleasant stuff is simply not to get cancer in the first place. Thing is, part of it's up to you, and part of it really isn't. Cancer is sneaky. Sometimes it just comes down to your genetics. And if we look at the bigger picture, the numbers are kind of shocking. In 2022, doctors around the world diagnosed about 20 million new cases of cancer. That same year, about 9.7 million people died from it. To put it in perspective, out of all deaths worldwide, cancer was behind roughly 1 out of every 6. What really matters if you want to be in the luckier majority that never has to deal with cancer is staying away from the big risk factors. Easily the biggest one of all is tobacco. Every single year in the US alone, smoking kills about 500,000 people early. Risk factor number 2, being overweight. Extra weight is actually the biggest risk factor for breast cancer. The more overweight or obese you are, the higher your chances of developing cancer. Next up, bad lifestyle choices. This ties into the weight issue. Not moving enough and eating poorly both raise your cancer risk. And then, of course, there's age. The older you are, the more likely it is that you'll be diagnosed with cancer. The risk is highest around age 70. After that, it actually starts to go down a bit. Other risk factors include alcohol, too much sun exposure infections, contact with harmful chemicals, taking certain hormones, and more. Cancer affects a lot of people. The good news is we're constantly learning more about it, and survival rates and treatment outcomes are steadily improving. That's all for this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit like and drop a comment. Good night.